Hey guys, this is Gene Jensen, and today I'm going to show you how I install my Lowrance side imaging sonar onto my dry pack of my Bonafide kayak. All right, so one of the cool things that comes with the Bonafide kayak is the dry pack. It is a place where you can basically make your fish finder completely contained within this piece of equipment. And what the advantages are is when you're done fishing, you can pull the whole thing out, battery, transducer, fish finder, everything out, and put it in the back of your truck in order to transport it instead of leaving it on your kayak. Makes things really quick and easy. So through trial and error, and when I say trial and error, this is my sacrificial dry pack. It's no longer dry. It's got holes all in the bottom of it, in the backs of it. I've been trying to figure out all kinds of stuff. But by using this, I've found what I feel like is the best way to install the side imaging to where you get the maximum amount of vision from your transducer, but you don't scrape the snot out of it on the bottom of your boat, or you don't run the risk of knocking it off. The little bracket that comes with the Lowrance sonar is way too big, and it drops that sonar way too far down in the water, and it's just one big hazard waiting to be knocked off. So let me show you how I do it. All right, so first of all, let's go over the equipment that I'm going to be using to install this. First and foremost is let me get the little card that comes with it, the YoloTek Mighty Mount, which is just a really good single position mount for your fish finder. So that's going to go on the top of the dry pack. Then the other holes you're going to need a drill with a 1/4 inch drill bit for the holes for the Mighty Mount, and then a 5/8 inch hole bit. I use a Forstner bit because I've been woodworking my entire life, and that's just what I have. Matter of fact, I have a set that I've had since I was about 17 years old. But, so I'm going to use a 5/8 inch Forstner bit, and that's pretty much the only tools. Oh, and a drill or some type of a Phillips head screwdriver. And that's pretty much the only tools you're going to need to have. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to install the Mighty Mount. And I love the Mighty Mount because it's such a solid mount. You have a backing plate that goes on one side of the plastic, and I mount these all over my kayaks to put camera equipment on. But then you have the top bracket that's just really solid. So the first thing you do is you take your top bracket, you lay it down, you get it positioned to where it's centered and just a little bit far back. This is the front side of your pack. This is the part that's closest to you. And I like to put it about right there. And I went ahead and I drilled a hole through the very first section. And then we take and we run one of the bolts through there. Then we just position it, drop another hole in there. Caddy corner. So now it's positioned just perfect, and it's not going to move. I can go ahead and drop the other two holes. Being really careful because it does bind on the plastic, but a good sharp drill bit will take care of that. Pull that loose, just because I'm anal. Get all the little bits and pieces of plastic out. And then the other two screws. Drop in just like that. Pop the lid open, take the backing plate, line everything up, hold it in place. I got the wrong size Phillips head. At least get me started. Let me get a little bit larger Phillips head. I'll be right back. All right, so I got a little bit bigger Phillips head. It should bite pretty good into these screws. Don't over tighten them, but they are locking nuts on the inside of them just to start with, and then I'll tighten them back down by hand once I get it good. All right, so we got that part installed. The next hole we're going to drill is we are going to pop the drill bit out. Drop in a 5/8 inch. And the reason I use 5/8 inch is because the transducer cable. You see how thick that is? That's the smallest bit I can get away with and be able to fold that transducer cable and get it through the hole, and you'll see why in just a minute. Now the place I'm going to drill that transducer, or drill that hole for that transducer cable. All right, now the place I'm going to drill this hole is right here on this slant, just below the mounting bracket for the hinge. And so it's going to go right here. It's going to be a little bit above the water line, so it's not going to get a whole lot of water in it, but it probably will during rough weather and stuff like that. So another option is to get a sealed or a waterproof grommet, throw it in there that you can run the wires through. Hobie makes some really good ones, and there's some more on the market. I'm not really going to worry about it because I'm never going to put anything in here that's going to need to be out of the elements. It's mainly just to store my battery and my cables. So anyway, take the Forstner bit, and I like a Forstner bit for drilling holes because it's such a clean hole, but it takes a little while, it takes a little effort. A spade bit's a lot better, but a spade bit will break a hole through plastic too, so you just kind of got to be careful. Get it good and lined up. There's a nice, matter of fact, there's a little bit of a center mark or a seam from the mold right there. And I'm going to put this one a little high, try to get as high on that slant as I can. There we go. And it does take a little bit of force, a little bit of effort, but you get a nice clean hole with that Forstner bit. All right, so that's the main holes you're going to drill in this thing. There's going to be a couple of more holes that I'm going to drill into the bottom for mounting the transducer, but we'll show you that in just a second. All right, so let's talk about the transducer. You guys look at what I've done with my transducer. It's got a big old block of wood glued to it. This is a 2 1/16 inch spacer that I've put that I've glued to the transducer, and I glued it just using silicone because eventually I'm going to make this spacer out of plastic and I'll be able to pop that transducer off easily and glue it to the plastic. But this is just a temporary deal, and actually it kind of works pretty good. But you've got to have a 2 to 2 1/8 inch spacer on the bottom between the box and the water in order to get the perfect reading from your side imaging. If you go any shallower than that or any narrower than that, or if you mount it directly to the box, the hull of your boat's going to get in the way of your signal. So that's how we're going to do it. 2 inches to 2 1/8 inch spacer. All right, so in order to mount this sucker to it, we got to drill a couple extra holes. All right, so the 2 holes that we got to drill are going to be in the bottom in order to mount that wooden block onto the box. And they just need to be big enough to slide these wood screws through. These are a couple of drywall screws that I use for wood screws, really good, real short. They're just going to go into the block and not drill into the transducer. If you make them too long, they're going to go into that transducer and possibly mess something up. But what size bit am I using? I'm using a 3/16 inch drill bit. Go ahead and mount that into the drill. And like I said, this is going to be temporary. The holes are going to be reused when it's time to use some starboard or some type of a plastic spacer. But the wood actually makes it really, really simple. So we're going to flip the box over, just drill. I'm going to drill one hole up front. One hole about 2 inches, 2.5 inches back and on the opposite side. And that's really all I'm going to do for right now. It'll be, like I said, it's going to be totally different later. I'm going to silicone those in before I put them in the water. But the key thing is with these big old huge transducers is once you get them mounted, if you mount them too far back, you go to flip the box up and leave it on the hinges, or flip it up out of the way, and it'll catch if you mount it too far back. And what I have found is you want to mount it as far forward as you possibly can. And you see this edge right here on the box? You want to mount it just not quite flush with that edge, but pretty darn close. So it's going to overlap off of this. Let me see if you guys can see that. I'm looking at my monitor. Yep. So it's going to be mounted just a little bit forward of this one and almost flush with the plane of the front of the box right here. And that's where it's going to be. I'm going to flip it over, pop 2 screws in there, and we're going to call it good. This almost takes an extra hand. There's one. All right, before you drill that second one in, make sure that your transducer is lined up and straight lined up and perfectly centered of the box. All right, and that's what it's going to look like when it's done. Now, we got to do something with this 8,000 feet of cable that that Lowrance puts on here. I wish that Lowrance would make some kayak-friendly transducers with short cords, but unfortunately they don't, and we have to worry about the storage of it. So you double up your transducer cable just a little bit. Don't over pinch it. Just stick it in there, and then pull your slack through. All right, the good thing about the way I'm doing this is that you don't have to worry about pulling the huge terminals through the hole, so you don't need to drill a big old monster hole. And then what the next thing you do is you just take and you wrap them up, you zip tie them into a nice little pretty loop, and store them down in the bottom of your box. And the box is going to look like it's just nothing but wire. All right, it lays down in the bottom just like this. It can go just about anyway. All right, so the next thing you got to do is you got to run your power cord. And where I'm getting my power from is from a 10 amp Noctua battery. This is a lithium battery. Like I said, 10 amps, and this fish finder, being that it's a Lowrance SDS7, is a 1.5 amp transducer, or 1.5 amp fish finder. So it's going to burn this 10 amp hour battery out in probably a little bit over 6 hours. I'm going to end up getting 2 of them, but this is perfect. Real small, compact little thing. I'm going to show you how we're going to mount that. But I've installed the power cord that comes with the Noctua battery. Pretty sloppily for right now. I've got some more connectors coming in the mail. I've got some waterproof connectors that I ordered. They're going to do this really, really good. For right now, I've just got it sitting just like this. Once again, I was doing a lot of testing and stuff, but this makes it really, really simple. So what I do is with your power cord, let me get the tape that I put on here off. Okay, I made it to where it had male and female connectors, and made it where you're able to disconnect it real easy, so nothing gets in the way. But you basically just run your power cord back into the box through the hole that you drilled in the front. And because that Noctua battery is so small, you can store it in the box too. And that's what's really, really convenient and nice about having a Noctua battery, is the size of it. It just does not, there's no storage issue at all. So we run that into the box, reinstall the power cord that goes to the battery. Red on red, black on black. Can you tell my dad was an electrical engineer? Oh man, he had me dang wiring houses when I was a little kid, so that was a lucky thing for me to learn. But the networking cable can just get put out of the way. Everything gets tucked in there. The Noctua battery gets screwed on just like, where'd I do with the end of it? You just pop the Noctua battery in there, and it drops down in that box just like that. What I'm going to end up doing is a kind of a cool little thing, and I'm going to show it to, I'll take pictures of it and put it on Instagram when I get done. But when I get some starboard, I'm going to get a thin piece of starboard and mount it. It's going to be a long one. Let me show you this right here. It's going to be about this long, and it's going to come out from the base of the Mighty mount, and it's just going to be, there's nothing going to be screwed up and over here. And what I can do with these batteries is, because they're in this little Velcro case just like this, I can actually slide that little piece of plastic right through this part of the battery pack, and it will hang onto the lid of the box. So keep it up out just in case I do get a little bit of water in there. It'll slide, and I'll have both batteries mounted right here, one there and one here. Be able to remove them really, really simple. But for right now, they're going to stay in the box. Everything's installed. I want you guys to get a good look at this. I've got the wiring in the back. I'm probably going to put a couple zip ties just to clean it up a little bit. Spacers on the bottom, everything's centered. It's a little bit forward, so I'll be able to flip the box open or flip it out of the way when I need to, or maybe, you know, just take it out completely when it's then just makes it a lot easier. Everything's contained in here, battery, wiring, everything's right here. So let's flip it open or take the cover off. See what happens. And we have power. So, very simple. Doesn't take a lot of tools. This is the way to go when you need to mount your fish finder on your kayak. It is so convenient just to be able to pick it up, put it in the back of the truck, take it back out, put it in your boat, transport back and forth, and be able to secure your expensive electronics. These things are not cheap. So being able to secure them inside your vehicle means everything. So be sure to check out my new website, flukemaster.com. Check out all the Flukemaster gear that I have for sale in there and all of the other stuff that I have going on. Going to start a blog post and all kinds of other cool things. But anyway, like I always say, be sure to introduce somebody to fishing. Introduce them to my channel. Let me help you teach them how to fish. More importantly, get out on the water, go out and catch some fish, and have a great day. We'll see you.